Your ears are not deceiving you. Welcome to the lap of luxury. Welcome to the lap of luxury. I'm your host, the fabulous Leon Brown, and I thank you for joining me for our inspiration, motivation, entertainment, and of course, empowerment. On tonight's show, we have our Call You Simple questions, a one-on-one exclusive interview with MuchLoveFromKy, aka News, and of course, intuitive insights. Stay tuned, as you are now in the lap of luxury. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am the fabulous Leo Brown, and this is my new talk show, my new interactive talk show, The Lap of Luxury. On this show, it's going to be an hour of information, inspiration, motivation, entertainment, and of course, empowerment. I hope all of you are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Thank you so much for the likes, the loves, the comments. Invite your friends, share, please come in, and we're going to talk, we're going to converse. I am doing extremely well. I hope you guys are doing the same. Thank you so much for asking. So I want to start out with a question, and this was a question that I had earlier for Call You Say What, because if you follow me on any form of social media, whether it be, this one, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, it doesn't matter. Every Thursday, I do a question. So today's question is, with Justice Kennedy, as we know, Justice Kennedy, he retired. He is retiring from the Supreme Court. And what I want to know from all of you is, if you were a judge, what type of judge would you be? Would you be conservative? Would you be moderate? Would you be liberal? And why? Why would you be that? Like, what would make you want to be a conservative judge or a moderate or a liberal justice? So that is my question for today. And don't worry, I am going to have intuitive insights. Don't worry, or AKA readings. I am going to do that, but that's going to be later in the show. But I really want you guys to chime in on that question if you can, and update me. What's going on in your world? What's going on in your life? This is a new thing for me. This is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do a talk show. So I figured I would do something like this. So hello to everybody. Don't worry, I see you. I see all the comments and stuff. I hope you guys are doing great. So chime in with your questions. Chime in with your comments on that particular topic. So if you were a justice, I'm going to ask it again. So if you were a justice, or if you could be a judge of a high court, what kind of judge would you be? So Myla Davis says that she would be liberal. So Myla, I have to ask you, why do you think you would be a liberal judge? I think for me, if I were a judge, or if I could be, appointed to a high court, I don't know if I would be liberal. I think I would be in the middle. I think I would be moderate. Not, and because I think really that's what life is all about. That's just my personal opinion. I think that life is all about balance. So I think if I were a judge, I'd probably be a liberal moderate. She says because conservatives are doing the most. You know what? Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to say this too, for those of you who come in with, with your answer to this question. Here's the thing. We are going to be respectful. We're going to agree to disagree. We are all adults. So we can all, talk about it and share our opinions and not feel, bad about what we feel or what we think. Okay, she says they usually give harsh judgment to people of color and to the I say GLBT. I'm old school. So LGBT community. I think that is somewhat true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think that, when it comes to sentencing and things like that, that's just my personal opinion. But hey, like I said, I think if I were a judge, I would be a liberal moderate if I could be a judge. Now, that leads me to another question. What do you guys think about Justice Kennedy retiring? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? How do what do you feel on that? What are your thoughts on that? For those of you who follow current events of politics. Now, I know this is a really heavy topic, but I figure with everything that's going on in the world, why not talk about it? Because I feel like this. If I can talk about love and hip hop and things like that, I can talk about what's going on politically as well. So that's just my personal opinion. So I think that, and this is just me, I think that right now we are dealing with a lot. I think that the world is definitely changing. We're going through a shift. It's not easy, but I also think that it's kind of like we had to wait with bated breath. So Fayette says that he should have waited until Trump moved on. So you think that Justice Kennedy should have waited to retire? You don't think he should have retired now? I can see that. I think that's what a lot of people are kind of like up in arms about. They're kind of like, well, wait a minute. Why did you do it now? Why couldn't you wait until, until things came down? Right. And I've heard that too, Ms. Davis. I've heard that too, Mila, that, and I will admit this, I am not the most astute person politically. I try to be abreast as best I can. But from what I've read and from what I've heard about him, it wasn't too bad either. So, I mean, I just figured that would be a great thing. And also, there's nothing wrong with playing a little bit of pretend. Because I think if I were a judge, I'd be more like Judge Judy than a Supreme Court justice. So I don't think I could be in it. My temper is too much. You come to me with some BS, I'd be like, get out of my court. This is not, So I don't think I would be the right person for the job. But hey, you never know. I mean, hey, look at what we have look at what we have going on politically. That's all I'm gonna say in that. And for me, and I look at it from another perspective too. If you look at someone like our current president, that means that anything is possible. Really. That's one thing I really do get out of it, is that anything is possible. Hello for someone who just joined us. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me and coming in. Pretty soon, in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to have everyone's favorite auntie, Nina Stevenson, Much Love from KY, come in. And we're going to talk about, the world. And I'm going to do a one-on-one interview with her. I cannot wait to do that. She has been such an inspiration. She has been such a motivator for me. She's awesome. And wow. Thank you for the hair comment. Thank you so much. Let's see. So Fayette says the last 2 years have really woken him up to things politically. That's actually a really good question to ask all of you, those of you who are watching me. How has, when it comes to being politically aware, or when it comes to being astute to what's going on, not just politically, but maybe in the world, how has your viewpoints changed in the last 2 years? Because I know mine has definitely shifted dramatically. I think, I'm definitely more involved. I'm definitely more aware than I used to be. I'm definitely more wanting to do what I can, whether that means voting, whether that means signing petitions, whether that means making phone calls, you know what I mean? Anything to allow my voice to be heard, or as my guest is going to say, stand and be counted. So I think so. I think that's definitely true. I know that's definitely true for me. So yeah, I think we definitely have woken up. Yes, and our guest, she's awesome. Yeah, to quote Fayette, she's fantastic. She is a fantastic lady. She's so funny. She's so real. She definitely gives you much, much love if you allow her to. And she's such a Cancer too. She's so emotional and everything. Hello, Zendaya. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mr. Riley. I see everybody. I'm not being rude. I promise you, I am not being rude, and I'm not neglecting y'all. And don't worry, after I do the interview with Ms. Stevenson, we're going to do intuitive insights. So you will get your questions answered. Okay, so Brandon says it's been a reality check for him. His has shifted because it has made him discover that everything is political. That's a very solid point. I think in a lot of ways, everything is political. I really do agree with that on some level, So I think that is true. Yes, I do agree with that. Yep, 110%. Mm-hmm. And of course, my special guest, she's already here. So Ms. Myla Davis says, she won't say that it has woken her up politically, but it definitely has made her realize how much more blatant racism is going on. Wow. Okay, that's a very valid point. I think that this is how I look at it. I think that I kind of view it like a dirty room. That's the best analogy I can give it. I view it like a dirty room. And what I mean by that is that you have this big house. It's big, it's beautiful, it's bright, it's airy, it's everything you want it to be. However, there's this one room that you have neglected to clean for years upon years upon years upon years. And then one day you clean it and you start going through it, and you start seeing how the wood has been rotted and things like that. And you realize, like, wait a minute, this room has been neglected for so long. And that's how I view what's going on in the world now, is that this has been ongoing for centuries, for years. This is not new. None of this is new, quite frankly. And I think now we're going through cleanup. And cleanup is not easy. You see? So I think that is what is going on now, I think. And it is shocking. Some of us are holding on to old traditions and old ways for dear life. Some of us are going along with the tide. Some of us are being swallowed with the ocean. It just depends on how you choose to react to what's going on around you. But that's just me. Hello, everybody. For all of you who are just joining me, I am Leo Brown, the fabulous Leo Brown. And today we are doing the Lap of Luxury. This is an interactive talk show. So you can come in, you can comment, you can post questions to me. I'm going to have a guest come in a few minutes, and we're going to do a one-on-one interview with her. And she's really, really sweet. She's exciting. She's funny. She's earthy. She's mother. She's my friend. She has been a source of inspiration for me. She has been very much a person of, how do I say it? Wow. Just a wonderful, wonderful woman, a strong woman. So, hello. Okay. And it's okay. And Miss Kimberly says, we need a new president. He needs to go. But here's the thing about that. We also have to realize that the president is a figurehead. The president is a representative of this country. So I don't blame our current president entirely. That's just me. I really don't. I look at it and I'm like, but what about Congress? What about the Senate? What about, people that make the laws in our towns, in our townships, our villages, on the local level? Why don't we start there? That's why I think things like midterms and stuff like that, those are so important. But, that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get her in here. And I know there's a way I can get her to be a part of it. Let me see. Okay, maybe y'all might have to help me with that because I'm trying to figure out how do I invite her in here. 1 second. All right. But that's how I view it. You gotta go to the local level. That's just me. That's how I see it. And I may have to do this via my phone. I don't want to, but I may have to. But that's the way I view it. I view it that way because we live in a world where, it starts locally first and then it grows into something more. But that's just me. That's just how I look at it. So, but I could be wrong. That's how I see it. Okay. So let's see. You know what? Okay. Well, okay, according to, and because Kimberly asked it, so, and according to what I know, I don't believe retrograde is going on. I don't believe Mercury retrograde is going on right now. I know that Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and I can't think of the other one. There's like 5 or 6 planets that are going on right now. Then they're all, and what that really means for people that don't know, that just means that things are going to slow down. And normally retrogrades are times of introspection. Retrogrades are times of reflection. Retrogrades are times of release, of letting go, things like that. So, okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to have my girlfriend. It's next month. Okay, great. I'm going to have our guest call in. She's going to call me in about 5 minutes. So we're going to have her come in. And also, before I actually have her call in and have her speak to us via phone, because that's the way we're going to do this today. Technical difficulties, y'all. I'm learning this, okay? I'm learning. Hey. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, my friend. You know what? Let me tell you something about the woman that just joined me, Miss Davis, honey. She is such a sweet lady. We talked on the phone, I think, for 2-3 hours. And we talked about everything. And such a sweet, transparent, funny, warm, just wonderful person. So, yeah, just awesome lady. If you're looking to get you some free, go to her website, getyousamefree.com, and she will so hook you up. She will help you get your everlasting life. Trust me. She's a sweetheart. And actually, I want to have you as a guest on my show, too. I'm definitely going to have you as a guest on my show because I think you have a wonderful testimony and a great story, and you would inspire many, many people. Okay, so let's move on to our special guest. Okay, so our special guest, her name is Nina Stevenson, but you know her as Much Love from KY. If you watch YouTube, if you are a YouTuber of any sort, yes, that's right, to 4 in the morning. She is a force to be reckoned with. She has a mouth like I have never heard, but she's also one of the sweetest, warmest, gentle people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, being around. She is so, I guess the best way I could describe is intuitive. She's so earthy and she's so real. And in the next 2 minutes, you're going to meet her and we're going to have a one-on-one interview. And it's going to be fantastic. So I can't wait for you guys to meet with her. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give her a call, okay? So she can come right on in and we can get to talking. All right. Give me a minute, y'all. I know, right? Me and my phone, but oh well. That's the way we're going to do this today.
Hello,
Hello, hello, hello, hello. Miss Nina, how you doing?
I'm fine, love bug.
Good, good, good. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but you know what? We're going to roll with it today.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I want you to say hello to everyone that's watching right now in Facebook land.
Hey, Facebook land. Hey. Honey, you know I was sitting up here like, what technical I done put some fake sound.
Yeah. I know. I was so mad. And I blame Zoom. Please don't blame me because it really wasn't my fault. But welcome to the Lap of Luxury. I am so glad to have you as my first guest. And one of the reasons why I wanted you as a guest on my show is because I knew you would bring something that is unique and funny and real and honest. And you're all those things. So for those of you who don't know you, those of you, for those that don't know who you are, tell us about yourself. Tell us a little something about you.
Oh, Lord, I'd rather you ask questions, honey. I don't do good with about myself. About myself is just, human, just trying to live, trying to make it. A mother, survivor, argumentative, not really argumentative, but militant in a way. And
Okay.
the argumentative too. A voice.
No, this is good. Keep going.
A crybaby. A fierce protector of my family and those that I love.
Now I have a question because speaking of love, now where did the nickname MuchLove come from? How did that come about?
When I decided to make the channel, I was sitting up thinking of a name, and I was like, what? Really, I started the channel because I wanted to hear people say, I wanted to hear other people who were going through treatment, going through chemo and things like that. I wanted to see if somebody had something to say to me. I see if I was the only one that was dealing with this. It seemed like nobody was saying real shit. And I wanted them to say that, and I wanted them to say that with love, and I would give that love back to them. And I'm in Kentucky, so I was like, much love, because I wanted it to be about love. And even though, some people will run across my channel and say, well, this happened. She stayed just sometimes ranting and this, that, and the third. That doesn't mean that I'm not ranting in love. Or she's just, kind of just talking about this, that, and the third or whatever. That still doesn't mean that I'm not doing it in love. Even if I don't agree with somebody and what they say, I can still disagree in love.
Right.
Whatever, and I think this truly would, and even though it may sound like a damn cliche, but if things were done in love, this world would be so much better, regardless of what it is. So I thought, well, okay, much love. I'm in Kentucky. I ain't gonna, because when I tried to put much love in, it was like, you can't use this name. When I started my channel or whatever, so I was like, okay. So I thought about putting my age at the time, and then I was like, well, it's not like I wouldn't say my age, but I said, well, Kentucky. I'm in Kentucky. Much love from Kentucky.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, because I have to admit, I've always wondered that. Now, I know that lately you've been really politically aware, politically involved on your channel. And for those of you who are not YouTubers, I implore you, go to her channel, watch her lives. She is fantastic. She's very aware. She's very astute. She's extremely opinionated, but very smart. And she comes from a very nurturing place. Like if you ever watch her help a sister help a brother out, which I actually wrote to her once, she gives the best advice. I mean the best advice, like for real. She's awesome. So I implore you, go to her channel, for real. So I have to ask you, that leads me to my next question. I have to ask you, where did your political mindedness, where did it come from?
I would have to say my dad, because my dad was always, my mother is so not into politics, but it would first be listening to him even young, talking about whatever was going on in the news or whatever, and I'm a daddy's girl to no end. Like, I am a daddy's girl to no end. So just about everything he would say, I would kind of lean on, even, and I think that's where I get my mouth from. Like, he, worked constantly, took care of his family or whatever, something go on, and he'd be like, hot damn it, I'm telling you, and why are they doing this, and blah, blah, blah. And I just began to sit down and watch it with him. And a lot of times not even knowing truly what was going on. I think in a lot of ways, and even though I would watch with my dad, in a lot of ways we kind of lean separately. I would say my dad is somewhat a really conservative Democrat, where I would always lean, in my beliefs, mostly, to the left with it, even though we don't agree on all of it, and I realized which way I was leaning as time went on, in life, and I grew up and I just began to watch things, and I think it was him, and then I knew then that was what I wanted when I, went to U of L. I said, well, I'm interested in political science, but I'm also hella interested in history, and to me, history and politics run neck and neck, especially when we're talking about the United States.
They do. I agree. No, I agree.
United States, I'm sorry. When we're talking about that, those two run hand in hand, our history, the treachery of how this country even came about, and then the structure in which was built over top of the blood, you know what I mean? Over the blood, so it runs neck and neck. So I already had the love of history. My dad gave me that love of, politics and that type of thing. So I just kind of, say, well, let me get in here and get at that. And I've always been one to be like, okay, well, you said the grass is green, but, in Kentucky they say bluegrass, but I'm still curious to know where the grass is blue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just silly little shit, but meaning what I said.
Right.
Like, you keep saying blue, but honey, clearly, but that's it.
So would you say that you really do encourage people to look outside, not only of themselves, but outside their own backyards more when it comes to social and political things?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think, and I don't draw anything that I lean on from any one place because, first of all, I, learned real quick what I didn't want. First, a lot of times we learn what we don't want first.
Yes, that's true.
And you begin to look at, well, I know I don't want this, but let me look over here in this yard and see what she's serving up a little something, but okay, no. You gotta look other places, you know what I mean? And hear other things and talk about other things, and agree to disagree, and that type of thing.
I agree. So I'm going to ask you what I asked earlier in the show, which was if you were a justice, because, as you and I both know, we have Justice Kennedy. He's announcing his retirement, or he announced it rather. So if you were a justice of the Supreme Court, what type of justice would you be? Would you be conservative, moderate, or liberal?
I would be a moderate liberal. I would be liberal, and sometimes I would have to be super liberal most of the time. But then I'd have to lean on being a moderate liberal when it comes to certain things. You can't, I think you should, I would have to deliberate, and each case would be different as it should be. You have to look at it differently. And even though you want to lean and say, well, let everybody do every damn thing they want to do, common sense tells you the older you get, there has to be some boundary. Now the question is how do we build these boundaries? Who do we build them around? And who are these boundaries meant for? Are we building these? It's a lot of things. But for me, it would be more or less, it would be liberal, because the conservative thing to me is saying, do what I said. That's the end of that. You can only believe one thing. There's only one, religious faith
mm-hmm.
in the United States, and
mm-hmm.
it's only going to be Christianity or whatever, which is unfair, to say that.
Right.
This is all it's going to be. And to me, conservative is very controlling. However, they do tend to use this same thing I just said about them against the liberals, saying that the liberals are trying to they controlling you, and that's why the families broke up, and y'all on the Democrats' plantation, and this, that, and the third. The devil is a lie. And ain't no truth in you, honey. Is it that you want us to be back on the plantation? Honey, I guarantee you, baby, won't nobody have no shirts, cotton, fruit, or nothing. Wait on me. And if I have anything to do in a voice to talk to my folks and say, hell no, we're not doing that. So I would definitely be liberal. I think I can never fall under the conservatives. I know what it was based on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feed into that lie that that it was the Democrats that were, they were the ones that was behind, the slavery, blah, blah, blah. Remember, we were the Lincoln Party. Well, Lincoln did what he did, but, cherry picking and all of that is not okay, honey. We know that Lincoln had slaves too, and we also know that the parties changed sides. So that's not going to work for you. Your own history tells you that you are lying.
All right. And that, my dear, is Miss Nina Stevenson, okay? That's you in a nutshell. Now you mentioned you mentioned earlier about getting older. So I'm going to ask you this kind of thought-provoking question. If you could go back to your 14-year-old self, what would you tell her? What would you tell 14-year-old Nina with what you know now?
With what I know now?
Mm-hmm.
I would tell 14-year-old Nina to do a little bit more reading. I would tell her to be more ferocious in her finding out the truth and the facts and the history. I would tell her that even though you feel a little shaky at 14 and you're a little chubby something or whatever and skinny, is in, and even though you do have confidence, I would tell her, but I remember the day when you didn't. And never be shook.
Okay. And why never be shook?
And I say that because there was times in my life just coming up where I was like, my mother and them gave me the confidence, and my mother kept me ragged up and all of that. I was a big girl, but she kept, she kept the rags on me. She kept me looking a certain kind of way, but there still was these moments where, even though I would look to the side, look to the left, look to the right, to the front, to the back, and the status quo was small and, that type of thing, small framed or whatever. So there were several times, and I'd say several times, from 14 to 16, but 14, where I was shook just a little bit, where I was like, well, it's probably, they got all that going, I'm heavy and this, that, and the third. And I would just tell her, baby, if you don't get into it, honey, if you don't get into you and who exactly you are, if you don't get into the fact that at 14 I had to have been about 5'10" then, maybe. No, I was probably closer to 6 foot. Get into that. Get into that statuette. Get into how much,
that Phyllis Hyman realness, yes.
Get into that and embrace that. And I think I would say to her, stand much stronger in that. When you get through reading your books and learning about history, get your garments on, honey, and stand just as proud. And know that even if you go in the club with 8 of your skinniest girlfriends, you looking the part head to toe and pulled together and full of nothing but confidence, I guarantee you're going to be the first one they see.
Wow. I love that. I don't know what to say to that. That's wow. Okay. So now, if you weren't who you are today in terms of who you are and how far you come, especially in terms of, because I know you told me that you were very politically aware and you've always been politically aware. If you could pick a dream career, what would it be?
A dream
Mm-hmm. What career would you have pursued?
I want to say, part of me wants to say a senator, but all of me wants to say, part of me does, all of me wants to say a congresswoman. The Congress is very important in keeping the president, whomever that is, at bay.
Okay.
You know, so that would definitely be it. And the only reason why I say the Senate is because I know the significance of them choosing the justices and this type of thing and confirming votes. But I'd have to still say Congress, because Congress has really, they really spineless now, but it's worse now, more so than ever. And I've always felt like, you know, they were one of the weakest, even though they had more power really than the Senate as it pertains to the presidency. So I know that I would want to be a congresswoman. And honey, if they can't stand Maxine, baby, trust me, honey. And you know, and I wouldn't have to reclaim my time, honey, because I just can't be bothered with mess. So let me go on and get you at the door, darling. Did you not get the memo that I'm not here to play the game? Like that, you know, so it would be Congress. It would be a Congress.
Okay. Now, I know that you're heavily involved in the LGBT or GLBT community, not, you know, locally, but even when it comes to your channel on YouTube and even your social media. How did that come about, and why is the GLBT community so important to you?
First, it would be my, honey, I just was always drawn to the community, but my best friend, my gay husband, he's dead and gone now, Diego. He just, I already had some friends and acquaintances that I knew I was always drawn to the community, but with him, it was almost if I didn't already bust through the door, but with him, it was like, Nina, here's the key, baby. In case we're not here, you can come on in, you know, and I always felt comfortable. I never, you know, felt judged, you know, and you know, I always like to be around people that could see the beauty in anybody. And I always felt like the LGBTQ community could do that. Mainly, honey, the queens always could see beauty in something. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, it just drew me. And then later on in life, I had kids, and just so happened that they were twins, and they were both gay. So, you know, okay, so girl, you dealt with it young, so now this, you know, I don't know if that was preparing me or getting me ready for...
See, I was actually going to say that. I think that it was. I think that maybe it was tailor-made for you to be a mom because you were already a mother to the GLBT community. So I would say so.
I just felt like, you know, and once they both, like with Brent, just real quick, like I've said before in video, honey, I was just more or less, I just threw him out the closet. I was tired. I was tired of him pretending with me. And with Brittany, I just didn't see her coming at all, honey. She went from a roller wrap to a straight up stud. I was like, well, now wait a minute. You know, and I think I was on live or something, and Brittany was like, well, you know, Mama, it's because you didn't know as much about the lesbian community.
Right.
As you knew, and I didn't. She was so right about that. I didn't, honey, but if it had anything to do with the queen, the transgender women, whatever it was, honey, I knew about it. As far as, you know what I mean? That part, but it was like that L, I surely didn't see it coming, and I didn't know the community, and I try to know it better now, honey. You know. So that's, you know, I have no other choice, and I knew that I wasn't going to allow the streets to mistreat my son. I wasn't as much worried about Brittany as I was about my son.
Right.
Because I had so many friends that had been, you know, even in high school, that had been at the mercy of the trade and these old ass, nasty ass white men around here, honey, hiding and acting like they ain't gay and shit and going down to a certain area and picking them up and this, that, and the third. And I had a couple of friends that went down due to these men, meaning, well, they're not here now. The men used and abused them. And I'm child, that was not going to happen to my son. And I knew the reason why they even ran in or even was turning tricks was so that they could eat, live, and buy some type of garment or whatever. But most of the time, it was to have a roof and have a way to live. And that was not going to be my son. The motherfucking trade, excuse my French too.
You good.
Out here. The motherfucking trade was not going to use and abuse my son. And was not going to, just wasn't. In my mind, I was like, you got me messed all the way up. You're not going to, you motherfuckers are not going to have to feed my son. He is not going to have to come to your home. And, beg you so he can lay down and rest and all of that, because I've seen too many of my son's friends come and get rest. And you can always tell when somebody is tired, not just sleepy, when they tired and they couldn't get rest. When they was hungry and didn't get nothing to eat, how grateful they are to have it. So the trade was never going to make my son be grateful for a motherfucking thing. So,
and that's what makes you such an inspiration to so many people, because so many people could learn just from you telling that narrative and you telling that story. And since it is Pride Month, since we are on the last few days of Pride Month, and happy Pride to everybody that's watching right now and listening to this, what would you say to the parents and relatives and even friends of someone who has just come out as gay or lesbian or transgender? What would you say to them to help them through? Because, just as we come out, because everybody knows I'm gay as hell, just as we come out, so do they. So what would you say to the parents or the friends or the relatives to prepare them for what's to come? What would be your advice, if any?
First, I would say, let me say this to the young man, a female, a transgender woman, a trans man, or whatever the case may be. First, I would say is this: take your time, and you ain't got to, run out there. Pump your brakes a little bit. After you make that decision to come out. Take time. Don't run out and race out just because you just said I'm out. Boom, that's it. You don't want to end up out there and be a casualty of the come out. Some folks understand that and some won't. I would say, take your time. I would say talk to others who have recently came out, or those who have been out for a good while. And, talk to them and have them to help you through. Know that just because you said, boom, I'm out, and I don't care whether you accept it or not, does not exempt you from the things that you're going to have to deal with. Just take time. Just don't run from one end of the spectrum, from being hid in a corner to bright lights and this, that, and the third right away. There is an in-between.
Yes, I agree, 110%. Yeah.
So I would say that. As far as the parents, what I just said, I don't know how you can go from being, the minute before they say it to you, being the mother who brought them here, the dad or whatever the case may be, to the moment after they close their lips from telling you that they gay, all of a sudden, you don't want them no more. I would have to remind you and tell you that you are going to be judged for your sins or whatever, because so many of the mothers that I've talked to have said, well, they going to hell and I ain't going to agree with it. I'm going to hell. Well, you know what, girl? You only accountable for your stuff if you feel that way. If you feel like, they came out and they going to hell, they hell bound. Mostly all of us is hell bound. In the whole scheme of things, it's only His mercy and His grace. And I ain't met nobody yet that has lived a perfect life.
Right. That's true. You're right.
Okay. So, how do you stop loving your child? And I need you to understand exactly what position they are being put in, exactly how much strength it took for them to say to you that they are gay. I need you to understand exactly how scared they are to come out and knowing what's going to happen in the world. I need for you to take a moment and have a conversation with your child. And it will not just be one conversation. You know,
exactly.
you be open.
It's like I tell people, you come out more than once in your life. You come out many, many times. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that, you know, take a moment and sit and talk with them. Baby, don't give your child up, honey, because this world will eat your straight child up, honey.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's a whole nother world that they're going to be dancing in and whatever they're doing in the LGBTQ community. And there is a sector of that community that will eat your child alive.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Let's talk about that.
So don't let the next time you see your child after they say they're coming out be at the funeral home or the graveyard and you ain't seen them in years and this, that, and the third, and they've been at the hands of whomever. So I would say sit your ass down and you made a sexual decision or whatever for yourself. You got one ass to worry about and one ass to fuck with. The rest of that shit, anybody else's ass, whether you brought it here or not, when they get grown, don't come before you.
Right. You're right.
You know, because I know Brittany and Brent, you know, they get down, but I mean, you know, their sexual life is theirs. They grown. And that's what it is. But anywho, honey, don't get me to going because, you know, I feel some kind of way.
No, but you know what? For those that are watching this and those that are listening to this, and also you can watch this later if you miss it. You can watch it later on. Don't forget to share it. Please don't forget to share it. If you really want to be a fan of Miss Nina's, you can go to her. Her Facebook page is called Much Love from Nina. You can go to her YouTube channel. That's Much Love from KY, all one word. YouTube.com. She is fantastic. And she and a lot of what you're saying is absolutely true because many people are struggling on so many, you know, levels. And I think with everything that's going on in the world, we need people like you to show that there is more than one way to be a mother and more than one way to show love and truth and honesty. So I love the fact that you're saying this because this may help someone. So now I want to play, before we conclude this interview, I want to play a little word association game with you. And you can say whatever is on your mind. First thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
Okay, so number one, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Todd.
Reality TV.
Rick.
Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna say it anyway. Donald Trump.
I got gas. That's what comes to my mind. I got gas. It instantly gives me gas, honey.
Okay.
It does.
All right. And your final one would be Nina Stevenson.
Still being written.
Wow. I love that. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I got to ask you with the last 2 minutes. What's something that we don't know about you that like no one else knows?
Wow. Because my family, you know, we talk good, bad, or indifferent. Shit.
Okay, I'm going to ask you another question. What's your most annoying habit?
My most annoying habit is going in the inside. Well, Lord, that's true. I think that annoys the shit out of anybody that knows me or has been around me. And I'll give you two. That's one, going into the middle part of the bread looking for the fresher piece.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you do that?
As soon as I open it, like, there's no way I'm going to eat. I'm not going to eat a slice that's not at least the 6th or 7th piece in. It's just not going to happen. And second would be, I'm not going to drink out of a cup, and I don't care who gives it to me, whether it be my mother, my husband, or my children. I have to look in it, and I know it irritates the shit out of them. You know, and just, you know, I just soon not drink water or even eat a piece of bread if I had to. Like, I know.
Wow. Huh.
Absolutely ridiculous, but that is, you know, just who I am. You know, that's just who I am.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Now, Leo, okay, go ahead. You finish asking me, and you feel free to ask me what you want to ask me.
Okay, I just have to ask you, this is for the last question I have to ask you, because you, on your YouTube channel, you detail a lot about your journey as a disabled woman. Mm-hmm. And I want to know what, as a woman, as a disabled woman, what inspires you to, because I'm a person with a disability myself. So what keeps you going, even when you don't want to get up and get out of bed in the morning? What makes you just say, you know what, I have to do this? What inspires you?
It can be more than one thing, right?
It can be more than one. Mm-hmm.
It would be, well, my family is one thing. It would be my family, but it would be, you know, my husband, my children, my mother, my dad, and all of that. But it would be my family. And, of course, God first, really, that would let me see another day. But to keep on going, it would be my family is what, you know, keeps me pressing, because they love me regardless. And there ain't no question to that. I don't wonder whether they love me or not. And I'm not a person that's going to be like, I wonder if the whole world loves me. Anybody that watches me got to know that I don't give a fuck if you love me or not. If you're outside of my family. Yes. I really don't. But what I do care about, I'm going to give respect, so I expect that back.
Right.
But the love of my family, like that right there motivates the shit out of me to keep on going. And I will tell you, that is what helped me to even make it out of the nursing home and to continue to push and do what I did, because I was so depressed and I was so hurt at what happened. It was them that made me want to go on. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that they were going to be there for me, but I didn't want to be a certain kind of way. My ass is too big for somebody to have to be lifting my ass anywhere. Okay? So I wouldn't want to beat them down with that, but I wanted to be with them, and I wanted to be with them within my family unit. So that was definitely a motivator for me, you know. So it would be my family, without a shadow of a damn doubt. My family, you know.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say, and I'm going to conclude with this. You know, I know you say that, you know, you don't care if somebody, you know, doesn't love you, that's not outside your family. But I'm going to say this. I love you, and I'm pretty sure my watchers and listeners love you. And we thank you so much for sharing your story, your testimony. And I will have you back, because I want to hear them nursing home stories, honey. I know you got a lot of those.
The love, and when I say that, I'm still gonna be me to keep on motivated. I love that I have my love.
Right.
That's why they call my love. But that, you know what I mean? Like, I still gotta push on. So that's not to say that I don't, you know, love my y'all. I don't value.
I know what you mean. We know exactly what, honey. The people that are watching and listening to you know exactly what you mean. We just, I just find you such a wonderful person. I think you have such a vibrant and beautiful spirit. And I just wanted to share a little piece of you with, you know, my audience. And so they could see that this is the woman that I look up to. You know, you have been, I call you auntie for a reason, because you remind me so much of my aunts. You know, just very real and straightforward, and, you know.
And Leo, without, you know, I have to tell you that my phone is giving me the, bitch, you know, I should have been on the charge a bit. But I have to say this, that I think it's great what you do. I think you are very inspiring.
Thank you.
Honey. I love the fact that you live your truth, baby, unapologetically.
Thank you.
I find that to be one of the most beautiful things. I love it when a person lives their life out loud.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, and just be them and be who they are and let people see the beauty in you. Hence, that goes back to what I love about the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can see the beauty in you and they bring out their own beauty. It's just, and I love that you do that. I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
So I appreciate what you're doing and everything. I appreciate you even thinking about me and, asking me to come on and be a part of this and, that you thought enough of me and being my love.
Thank you. Well, of course. I mean, you are awesome. You're an awesome woman. You are, in the words of Maya Angelou, you are a phenomenal woman.
Hallelujah. And thank you, honey. I will not disagree. You will get no disagreement. I don't tell myself I'm phenomenal every damn day, honey. I'll be around here. Look, I say to every woman every day, look at yourself, and I don't care what you're going through. Phenomenally, you, honey.
Yeah.
See the beauty in you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, that is. Now, Leo, before I hang up, I'm going to ask you to give me a quick, because I ain't going to be left out of this. Because I know I won't even get a question in edgewise. And I know your love, your followers like, girl, get off that damn phone, and I'm trying to see if Byron is cheating.
Oh my gosh, that was great. Oh, well, I will say this. What I pick up around you, I pick up a great deal of growth. I really, really, really do. I feel like you have grown spiritually. You've grown emotionally a little bit more. You're a lot more resilient. You're still soft as drugstore cotton, as you say, but you are a lot more resilient than you've been in a long, long time. I get the number 2 around you. I don't know if it was 2 months ago or 2 years ago, but something has happened in you where a light has come on and you're like, I'm going to fight and shine as best I can. I don't care what stands in my way. I do see you kind of going through some health issues a little bit. For me, it feels like either doctor's appointments or like you going to the doctor a lot. I get that your diet is going to dramatically shift. And if it hasn't yet, it's going to start. I see a lot to do with you doing like not being vegetarian, but almost like close to it. I really do get that. And I see you not only losing weight, but also just bettering your health. I feel like mentally you've been under a lot of stress lately, which has caused a lot of depression for you a little bit. But I would say this, honey, you're stronger than you know, and keep holding on. And it's okay for you to show your vulnerability. It's not a weakness. And I know you know that, but sometimes I get a feeling that you feel very defeated, but you shouldn't be because you're just getting started. And I don't see you. I know it feels like you're like, well, God, my number might be up pretty soon, but I don't pick up you going anywhere. You still have much to do. And I know that you're not a writer. You've told me this in conversation, but I'm seeing you either talk about it, either on probably via YouTube, but I'm seeing you talking about your story in more in length. Maybe not now, but like in the next year to maybe 3 years.
Well, all right, honey. Well, I'm going to be looking. I will tell you this, honey. You're definitely on point.
Thank you. And
definitely on point. And I try to work on those things that I need to. There's no way for me to, cut my feelings off.
No, don't cut them off. No, but express them. Because what I'm saying to you is that I get around you that it's almost like you try to express yourself, but when it comes to expressing the feelings that what we would call dark, it can be a bit much for you. But you need to express those too. That's a part of the balance of life. And just have faith in yourself, in your creator, whether you call it God, whatever, that you're going to be okay. And you're not by yourself. One of the reasons why I feel that, and it's funny, because I pick up your ancestors are coming through a lot lately. And maybe that's why you've been moved to do history on your family, because your ancestors are coming through and telling you, like, girl, I don't know what you're crying for. What you crying over for? We got our hands cut off.
Baby, I have battled. That's crazy that you say that, because I have had dreams and everything about it, and I really can't, like, one particular woman in particular, and I can't say which one it is because I don't really get to see her face in my dream on this particular woman, but she's just there, and it's been since I started, you know, really trying to find out about, you know, my ancestors and that type of thing.
She's a guardian for you, whoever this woman is, and she's always shrouded in mystery. She never lets you in, but she is guiding you on what you need to know.
And she just be there standing. She never sits down. She just stands in the distance in my dream. And I could be riding on a dinosaur, honey, cooking burgers to do with her, and there she is.
Yeah.
So I don't
She's a guardian for you. That's why I say that. She's a guardian for you, and she really is helping you, because you're not only finding out about your family, you're finding out about yourself.
Right, absolutely. And it has been. That's what I've been finding out about.
And it's making you closer with your husband, too, because I feel like your husband is involved in this as well. It's making you understand his lineage and his family and why he is the way he is. And, you know, you're looking at things from a deep, almost like generational curse kind of level. You're doing a lot of DNA stuff, and you don't even realize it, but you are.
A whole bunch of it, and honey, some of it will whoop the hell out of you. You know, but I appreciate you so much, Leo. I do appreciate it, and that definitely will help me on my way, at least give me some understanding about how I've been feeling lately, and, you know, what I'm dealing with, you know. So I really, 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 really appreciate it.
No problem.
I hope my loves that are on here, and for those, if you missed it, Leo will have a
I will. I'm gonna. If you miss it, if you missed the broadcast, I'm gonna have it to where I'm gonna share it on all my pages, and I'm also gonna share it on my YouTube channel. And if you want to, Nina, you can do the same thing. You're more than welcome to do that.
Oh, I definitely will.
Yeah. So I'll definitely have it everywhere that you guys can see and you can hear it and listen to it, and you can even go back and listen to it if you like as well. But thank you so much, Ms. Stevenson, for being on my show, for being my first guest. It was an honor having you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
You too, darling. Thank you, Queen.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Isn't she great? That was awesome. That was awesome. My goodness. I got my phone. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening and watching it. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. It was a lot of fun, as you can see. So now it is time for Intuitive Insights. That's where you get to ask me questions. So you can now ask me reading questions. For those of you who don't know, I am a psychic medium. I am also a life coach and motivational speaker. If you want to make an appointment with me outside of Facebook, you can go to psychicleo.com. That's psychicleo.com. And I'm actually going to pin it in the comments so you can go to my website as well if you want to arrange in reading with me or coaching session with me, because I do coaching as well. You're more than welcome to do that. You know, to answer your question, Ms. Cordia, you know what? Houston is fantastic. I'm very, very happy. I am, you know, I've had my moments, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm at a really good place. I won't lie. I'm at a great place, and it feels good. It feels really good. Okay. So, all right. So now we're going to get into the questions. Oh, and my YouTube is, if you want to go to my YouTube channel, it is youtube.com/psychicleobrown29. And I will actually put that in here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. You can also follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, both at The Real Leo Brown. And you can also follow me on Facebook at The Real Psychic Leo Brown as well. And hi, everybody. I haven't neglected anybody, but hi, everyone. So just a second, I'm going to go ahead and put that link in here so you guys can do that. You can subscribe to my channel if you like. Now, mind you, I'm going to be real with y'all. I haven't done my channel in about 90 days, but that's because I've been moving. I've been, all that kind of stuff. So that's why. It's nothing personal. It's just I've just been going through a lot of things. I've been doing a lot of stuff. So that's why. And I'm going to pin that as well. There we go. So you can go and you can, follow me on all those social networks if you like. Okay. So for those of you who have questions, be sure to ask away, but keep it one at a time because it's a lot of people in here and I don't want to miss anybody. Okay. So let's see. The first question it looks like I had was from Carla. Yeah, Carla. Are any of these men actually the one? Okay, well, I'm gonna need a little bit more specifics than that, baby. I mean, I'm just saying I can't. I'm good, but I ain't that good now. I'm just saying. And hold on for just 1 second because I want to cut on a light. It's dark in here and I can't see. Give me just 2 seconds. 1 second, y'all. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now I can see. Okay. So, and I believe is it Tisha Lancaster? Do I see a baby in her future? Actually, I see more than one. Believe it or not. Yes, I do see. I see babies. I see 2. Yeah. But maybe not this year, but I want to say next year. Yeah. That's what I pick up around it. So Tisha, I believe that's your name. That was your question. So that's what I picked up around you. Let's see. And Fayette wants to know about health. Well, okay. With you, Fayette, I'm kind of getting a mix. I get physical and mental health at the same time. I feel like you need to talk to somebody, either a therapist or someone that you can vent to, but they're not judging you. They're non-judgmental. And what I'm also seeing around you is physically, I don't know if you're having weight issues, but what I get around you to maintain your weight, you really need to do lean meat, like boneless, skinless chicken, and then do a lot of walking because I'm seeing walking around you and the weight will just come flying off. And drink more water. But I definitely keep seeing around you either talking to someone or maybe journaling would be perfect for you. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Let's see. Okay, so it says I'm currently at a dead end, and I want to say it's Jasonda Wesley. I believe I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct because I don't want to mispronounce your name. I'm currently at a dead end job and haven't found a career that I absolutely love. Do you see anything in the near future job wise? Well, Jasonda, I don't get necessarily that. I feel like it's not the job, it's the environments that you go into. You go into a lot of catty environments. And I could be wrong, but that's what I'm receiving regarding this. And I do see you finding your dream job, but it will be like in October, November is what I pick up around you regarding that. You will find it. But mainly what I keep getting around you, Jasonda, is your job environment. That's the problem that I'm picking up. And I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting. And let me also preface this by saying, before I continue, I am not 100% accurate. I am 100% human and 100% real. Okay. The only thing that's fake about me is this eyeshadow, but in my foundation. But other than that, I try to be as real as possible. Let's see. So Rosa Howard wants to know. Hold on. Okay. My brother's daughter is mad with outside the family. Why? Well, you know what I get around that, Rosa? I get money. And I get them being petty just for the sake of being petty. I really do. And I could be very wrong, but that's what I get. That'll pass because I keep seeing like wind blowing. So that's going to pass. And they're really mad. They're not really mad at they're taking it out on the family, but they're really mad at themselves. There's something going on within them that they don't know how to address yet. And you're welcome, Tisha. Thank you so much for asking your question. And thank you guys so much for asking your questions too. It really does mean a lot. So Mr. Kelly wants to know, he says he met a man here in town. Should he seek him out romantically? I get a yes and no. Yes, you should, but no, because you need to let him do the work. All right? Because what I get around you, Mr. Kelly, is that you don't do all the work, but you can be a bit overly generous and a bit, you don't reclaim your time enough in your relationships. And you need to really have boundaries. And if this person really does want to be in your life, they need to prove to you that they are worthy of you, if that makes any sense. Be the queen that you already are. Own it and claim it, okay? If they really want to be in your life, they will be. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I don't think that it would be a bad thing for you to seek them out. But let them do the work. Let them take the lead. That's what I'm getting around that. Let's see. Okay. So Mr. Riley wants to know, do I see romance coming in his life? I want to be real with you. I don't see romance. I see a lot of sex. Not yet. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. I say that because you're at a point in your life where you really want to enjoy. You want to enjoy your life. You really have not. You've been a bit of a spectator. And now you're learning to enjoy your life more, which is wonderful. And so I see a lot of sexploration. I'm just going to be honest with you. But it's not a bad thing. I do pick up love is going to come. But it's going to come probably in the spring of next year. But for now, I see you having a lot of fun. And you need to do that. It's important. You need to figure out what it is you want and what it is you like and what it is you dislike. And you're welcome, Rosa. Thank you so much. Do I see growth in your job? This is what Tisha wants to know. And thank you, Josanna, for telling me that I'm pronouncing your name correct. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you on the makeup comment. Thank you very much. It's just a light dusting. Let's see here. Okay, do I see any growth in your new job? Or do I see any new growth in your job? I do, but I see it being slow. And I would say maybe give it about 3-4 months. I get the numbers 3 and 4. So I want to say 3 to 4 months, but I do see it coming. But I just see it being slow. And I feel like you are just tired. I'm going to say this to you, sweetheart. You might want to take either a staycation or a vacation or just one day where you just do nothing, because I feel like you're running around like a chicken with your hair cut off. Let's see here. Okay. So Michaela wants to know, she's in a new relationship with someone who lives in Florida. I am planning to be moving to be closer to her. Will it be worth the move, and will we last? Believe it or not, actually with this one, believe it or not, yeah, I do see it lasting. And I'm going to tell you why, because I think you're in a different space than you were before. I think you were more in love with the idea of being in love than the actual work, whereas now you're not. And this person, There's a little bit of loneliness around them. They really do want to be involved, but at the same time, they're willing to put in the work. And I get that even if it didn't work out, you're going to love Florida because I keep seeing you around the ocean and you just like, this is where I belong. So even if it doesn't work, you're going to end up being fine. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. And you're welcome, Mr. Kelly. Thank you. Thank you. I share back to you. Thank you very much. Let's see. What do you see with Charles? Is it long-term? It has long-term potential, but I get a lot of back and forth. But I want to say this with you, and this is for Carla. What I get around you is that you have to exercise boundaries. When you say no, mean no. Okay? Don't just say, oh, well, no, I don't, no, I'm not going to do that. And then you turn around and do it anyway. When you say no, mean it, and you'll be fine. Let's see. Okay. And Miss Keisha Williamson, she says, I am a nurse. And what do I see in regards for her for a career change? She says she's a nurse and this whatever. So basically what that tells me is that you don't like your job. You don't like your job. All right. So what I see regarding that is I don't feel that once again, what I'm picking up around you is that it may not be the job, like the career. I feel that you may need to move into a different hospital because I'm picking up like a transfer. And once you transfer, you'll transfer to an environment that is healthier for you. Because you pick up on everybody's stuff and they don't understand that. And you really take your job and what you do very seriously. So what I see for you career change wise is I see a change in your hospital, like where you are now. I think it's definitely going to change. Yeah. And it's needed. And I want to say not for like another 2 months or so. Let's see. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. So is there any other questions? You're more than welcome. You've got 4 minutes. And thank you guys so much for joining me, for liking this, for sharing it, for coming in with your questions, for listening to the interview. Because I know it's different. Because I know that normally I do, where I just come on and I do readings. But I really wanted to do something different because I think it's so important to show growth and expansion. And also too, I've always wanted a talk show. I'm just gonna be real. I have always wanted a talk show. I've always wanted to do something sort of like this in this format, and now I can. So I'm gonna be this again, not July the 5th, but the following Thursday, which will be, I gotta look at my calendar, which will be, let's see, July 12th. So I'll be back July 12th. And I'll be doing this probably every other Thursday. So you'll see me. It'll be regular, but it won't be every Thursday, but every other Thursday. But I definitely want to come in and do this more often because I miss you guys and this is fun. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fayette. Thank you. Let's see. And if you want to book an appointment with me, if you want one, I do my readings via Skype. I do them in person. I do them over the phone. If you want to get a reading from me, just go to my website, psychicleo.com. If you're like, well, Leo, baby, your prices are a little much, I will work with you. I'm like the IRS. You work with me, I work with you. I'm more than welcome to help you out if you really need the help. I don't work for free, and neither do you. But things of that nature. And if you want coaching, I do that as well. So you're more than welcome to ask for those things. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the last few questions, and then we will conclude for the night. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am a life coach. So basically, what I do to answer Carla's question, and for everybody else who wants to know, I'm the kind of person I kind of equate it to you and I. Going to a park. And I equate it like every day you go to this park, every single day. And, you don't pay attention to what's around you. So one day you bring me along. So what I do is I point out things that have always been with you that you never paid any attention to. And it may be patterns, it may be thoughts, it may be pathologies that have stopped you from living the kind of life that you've always wanted to live. That's what I do as a life coach. So let's see. Ooh, I have to answer this question. This is a good one. Okay. So, all right. So I want to say is Esri, like Desiree. I think it's Esri or like Desiree. Miss Davis. She says, looks like a person she had a summer fling with popped out of the blue 28 years ago. Should she let her guard down? That's a great question. Yes, but not yet. Because what I get around you, sweetheart, is that you have issues when it comes to trust. You really, really do. Okay? And what I get around you is that, and it's kind of in the same vein as I was saying to Mr. Kelly, you really have to allow them to do the work. Let them show you that they're worthy of you. Because oftentimes we don't do that. We don't let the person do the work. We don't let them take the lead. We just, let them do the work. And mainly what I get around them is that they actually need to do communication. Like when it comes to communication, they need to communicate more and they need to communicate better. So your hesitancy is actually a good thing. And I'm also going to say to you, listen to your gut, because your gut will never steer you wrong. Okay. Let's see. I want to answer a few more questions. Hello, Miss Monique. Hey. Yes. Hello. And this is for Jasonda. She says she's hesitant when it comes to entering a relationship and was wondering if I see anything in the near future. I do, but like around the end of the year. And your hesitancy is actually, it's normal. It's actually granted. You need a moment to learn. What I'm picking up around you is that it's okay for you to be by yourself. Being alone doesn't mean lonely. For real. Let's just be, and I'm saying this from my own experience. It's okay to be by yourself for a while. Do that. Do what you need to do. But I get the end of the year. I keep getting December, the number 12. So yeah, I think by December you'll be ready. But right now, take your time. Don't rush yourself. Because I feel like you're exploring who you are as a woman. You're getting to know who you are, who Jasonda really is, and what Jasonda really wants. And that's a good thing. It is. So Miss Howard, what is wrong with her knee? Let's see. Well, girlfriend, I get a lot to do with joints. I get a lot to do with maybe glucosamine. That would be perfect for you, for your knee. I don't feel that it's a bone thing. I get that it's a joint thing. And what I also get around you is that you may want to consider doing like water aerobics, something like that, something that's less pressure. So I hope that helped. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. I love your name. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful name. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you who watched, who came in, who enjoyed the show. I definitely will be doing this again. You'll see me July 12th. My guest is going to be, she's another YouTuber. Her name is Jimmy Pink. And she's going to be on my show. And I can't wait to interview her. I got to reach out to her pretty soon. But that will be my next guest. If you're interested on becoming a guest, email me at psychicleo28@yahoo.com. That's psychicleo28@yahoo.com. Or you can go to my website, that's psychicleo.com, and email me if you want to be a guest and you want me to interview you. So until next time, ladies and gentle ladies, be good, be fierce, be fabulous. Life is fabulous, and so are you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.